The storm within. There is a storm raging in every human life, not one that hurls thunder or rain, but a storm of thoughts, fears, and expectations. The world outside us is loud, unpredictable, and wild, but the storm that truly shakes us, the one that breaks our peace, is within. The Stoics taught that peace doesn't come from silencing the world. It comes from mastering ourselves. What you can control, they said, is enough. What you cannot, you must let go. That is the secret to freedom, the chaos of life. Every day we wake to a world that demands more of us. A world filled with uncertainty, injustice, ambition, and noise. We plan carefully, hoping life will follow our expectations. But life does not bend to our plans. It follows its own rhythm. The Stoics, especially Epictetus, saw this clearly. He was born a slave, crippled in body but free in mind. His master could break his leg but not his will. He said, "You may fetter my leg, but not even Zeus can conquer my will." In those few words lies the foundation of Stoic strength. Freedom is not the power to control the world. It is the power to control yourself, your mind, your judgments, your choices. The Stoics understood that most of our suffering doesn't come from what happens, but from how we respond to what happens. They didn't deny pain, loss, or hardship. They simply refused to let those things own them. They practiced the art of detachment, not indifference but acceptance of what cannot be changed. Control what you can imagine a philosopher at a marble table dividing two scrolls. On one side, things within my control. On the other, things beyond my control. That simple division, though it seems small, is the map to peace. Within your control are your thoughts, your intentions, your choices. Beyond your control are the weather, the opinions of others, the flow of fate. To spend your life chasing what cannot be controlled is to waste your freedom. To master what is within you is to become truly free. Epictetus taught his students to begin each day with this thought: "Today I will meet interference, ingratitude, arrogance, deceit, and selfishness, but none of them can harm me, unless I allow them to." Seneca, the wealthy Roman statesman, echoed this wisdom. He lived among power and temptation, yet he wrote, "We suffer more in imagination than in reality." His wealth did not define him, his calm did. He warned that those who depend on fortune are her slaves. Those who depend on reason are free. Marcus Aurelius, emperor of Rome, faced wars, betrayal, and plague. He could command legions, yet even he could not command fate. So he turned inward. "Choose not to be harmed," he wrote in his journal, "and you won't be harmed." It sounds simple, even naive, until you live it. When insults, failures, and chaos come, you realize that the only thing you ever truly control is your mind. This is the great paradox of control. When you stop trying to rule the world, you begin to rule yourself. The Stoic masters Epictetus lived in poverty but taught wealth of spirit. Seneca lived in wealth but practiced detachment. Marcus lived in power but sought humility. 3 lives, slave, senator, and emperor, united by one truth: freedom is an inner state. Epictetus taught that external things are neither good nor bad. They are indifferent. It is how you use them that matters. If you are praised, do not become proud. If you are insulted, do not become bitter. Hold your balance like a ship steady through the storm. Seneca taught the discipline of preparation. He reminded his readers that fortune's gifts can vanish overnight. So he practiced poverty, sleeping on the ground, eating simple food, to remind himself that happiness depends not on comfort, but on character. If you wish to be rich, he wrote, do not add to your money, but subtract from your desires. Marcus Aurelius practiced acceptance amid chaos. Every night he reflected on his day, asking himself, did I act according to nature? Did I live with reason, justice, courage, and self-control? His meditation was not for others, it was a conversation with his soul. In those quiet writings he discovered peace not in ruling the empire, but in ruling himself. The two domains. To understand the Stoic way, imagine two hands. In one hand you hold a stone, firm, solid, unchanging. This represents what you can control. In the other hand, your palm is open, holding nothing. This represents what you must release. If you confuse the two, you suffer endlessly. You'll try to control the wind, the tides, the hearts of others. And when they resist, you'll rage at the world. But when you accept the division, when you let go, you find peace. This is not weakness, it is wisdom. The Stoic does not deny emotion, he disciplines it. He feels deeply but does not drown. He loves but without possession. He acts but without attachment to outcome. He accepts not because he gives up, but because he understands that reality is indifferent to his wishes. Freedom is not control over everything, it is serenity amidst anything. The one who has mastered himself can walk calmly through storms. He may lose wealth, health, or reputation, but he never loses his peace. Strength in acceptance. Each day the Stoic renews his practice. He wakes early, washes his face in cold water, and reminds himself that today he may face insult, loss, or death. But he will face them with calm. He carries no illusion of control over the universe, only over his choices within it. He writes, he reflects, he observes. At midday, when frustration arises, he pauses and asks, is this within my control? If yes, he acts with reason. If no, he lets it go. At night, he looks back on the day, reviewing his actions like a wise judge. Where did I lose patience? Where did I fail to live with courage or understanding? In this way, each day becomes training for freedom. For the Stoic knows that control is not gained through power, but through awareness. Acceptance is not surrender, it is strength without tension. It is the courage to stand unshaken even when the world trembles. Freedom through acceptance. The true Stoic stands at a crossroads. One path is crowded with ambition, greed, and comparison. The endless chase to control the uncontrollable. The other is quiet, empty, lined with self-knowledge and peace. He chooses the quiet path, not because it is easy, but because it is real. The Stoic rejects the illusion of control. He knows that even kings fall, empires crumble, and bodies decay. What endures is character. He breaks the sword of desire, for the greatest victory is mastery of self. He walks forward into the rising sun, carrying only what he owns completely, his mind. Freedom is not found in possessions, power, or pleasure. It is found in clarity. The understanding that you can choose your response to any fate. To live as a Stoic is to live light. To let go of what you cannot carry, to hold firmly what you can. Your thoughts, your words, your actions, and your integrity. Wisdom beyond control. In the quiet hours, the Stoic turns to reflection. He recalls the words of Epictetus, "Make the best use of what is in your power and take the rest as it happens." These are not words of resignation. They are words of strength, because what you can control, your choices are enough to live well, and what you cannot, fortune, death, and the actions of others are not worth your peace. When you learn to accept this, life becomes lighter. You stop fighting every wave and start sailing with the wind. You stop fearing what might be lost and start cherishing what you have. You stop demanding that life obey your will and start aligning your will with life itself. This is the Stoic secret. Peace is not found by changing the world, but by changing how you see it, unshaken by the world. And so the philosopher stands at dawn, watching the storm fade into light. The sea still roars below, but his gaze is calm. He has learned that the waves will always come, but they cannot touch his peace, what you can and cannot control. That is the simplest and hardest lesson of life. When you master it, no insult can wound you, no loss can break you, no fate can enslave you. The world may rage, but within you there is calm. And in that calm, you will find freedom.